else, DJ, a KDA of 22.
Oh my god.
That's just how much this team plays around. Now, to be fair, other players, Hawk also sitting at 28 on the KDA.
No, that's worse because they're on the same team.
And then J-Jack at 25. So this is a very powerful team as we go ahead, get into our pick and bans. Korea on your blue side to start things off, and the teamy ban to start things out.
Korea are going to look to play very aggressive. That's, of course, what they always do, constantly invading, picking up small jungle camps, and Thailand don't always handle aggression well. You see specifically 007 in that jungle role can get caught off, separated. And if that starts happening, I think Thailand are just going to fold.
Yeah, we saw that a couple times when the enemy team would push into 007's jungle. He would often be kind of slowed down. He didn't really know where to go. And other times he just got straight out caught out. So actually, luckily for him, the Grak's getting banned out here on the side of Korea.
Yeah, the Grak getting removed, Korea uninterested in playing it, and I think I'm on board with it, because you're playing against Moss.
Yeah, Moss, stellar performance, so maybe you don't want that to slip through the pick and ban. You'd rather be safe. Thailand, though, taking a page out of what we saw in Game 5 of our last series. No Omen coming out.
I expect these bans to be super standard because both these teams playing non-standard compositions.
Now, this is a little bit ugly here for Thailand, though, because if they wanted to, they can get rid of the Arum, but you leave up the Lindis. Do you expect Korea to take the Arum if it's left open?
I think they'll be up for either, but the Lindis would be lethal. Because it's Rush!
Yeah, it's Rush on the Lindis.
He's so good at video games. If you give him the Lindis, it would be insane, but they won't.
Yeah, instead opting to ban it out themselves, so looking to try and target the pool of 007, because you know what, Rush, he still has that Slims, he still has that Violet available.
And that's what I was kind of saying. I would be surprised if any of this was spectacular. Both teams just want to play their meta, their own private game, how they want to play in an ideal world, into each other and see who comes out on top.
Well, final ban coming out here for Thailand in Game 1. What do they want to get rid of? What do they not want Korea to have? A Zenial being the final ban.
Okay, Korea, you can play Arum. I'd expect if it comes through on anyone, yeah, locked in, I'd expect it would probably come through onto J-Jack. But to be honest, they have a couple players who can play Arum.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. It could be flexed around different players. That's a big thing about Korea. They oftentimes are just really good at certain heroes. And when it comes to it, they'll actually just swap positions because they know someone will be able to play the hero better in that position. Now for Thailand, coming over to the side, already showing themselves quite a strong front line with the Malik and the Chugnar.
Chugnar has seen a lot of play today, and he's kind of a hard character to quantify how much impact he's having. So much of it is just his own personal CC immunity and how many potentially lethal control abilities he can eat up.
I actually like this from Thailand because if Korea wanted to play the Chugnar, they often do when Rush is on a Violet.
Oh, yes.
It's usually the safety net for Rush when he's on these hyper carries into the late game. So now, Korea, they got to think about, all right, what do we want to try and pick up here to try and protect Rush? Because they like to play around him. They like to make sure he doesn't get isolated during the team fights.
How do you keep Rush safe? A team that is so good, by the way, at protecting Rush. I love how Korea play during these fights to protect their carry, but they need to do so now with an off normal pick pulling in the Arum. I don't want to say off meta because she's very meta, but you don't normally
We haven't seen it.
Because she is so meta.
Yeah, because she keeps getting banned left and right. Usually it's a red side ban. Usually you're forced to do the Superman, the Arum, and then sometimes the
Super
Omen.
ban.
Sorry, the Super ban. Either way, also the Irie going to get locked in.
Another character we've seen a lot more of, and not just on the stage, because she's so powerful at diving in, gaining ground, picking up the kills at the very back of the fight, but also, if you want somebody to stand in the front line and make everyone stand still for a moment, because she's got infinite shields and a stun, quite good at that as well.
Good to start off the fights, Thailand now. What do they want to try and pick up here? They still have the option. They want to try and maybe pick up their mage here first. They do have the Crixie available if they want to go with something along those lines. Still maybe the remix here, though, on the Lubu. This would be new.
I would like the Lubu. But what they're leaving open, like you were talking about, is this mage. Now, we've said specifically, I don't think there's too much upside to banning out mages these days because there are so many viable mages. But maybe you want to say, stop that from happening.
Yeah, you see the Scud being hovered here, and then also the Tulin being available. Hawk would be pretty happy on a Tulin. And they still have a pretty deep pool, too. Like you mentioned with Korea, they have the Natalia available if they want to go for that as well. Even the Crixie if they want to try and pull that, too.
Memarks, of course, can play a lot of things. I'd expect him to run the Crixie, just given this pool. But this is a major draft win for both teams. I think they've mostly gotten everything they want. A ton of CC available for Thailand, a ton of aggressive characters available for Korea.
And for me, TJ, you're seeing this here in the draft. They're taking a very long time with these picks. They're deciding what they want to pick. This is your first game in the winner's final. You win here, TJ, you automatically secure yourself at least $100,000. That's $20,000 per player. If it got split evenly, you know, you give it a little bit to the coaches and everything, but still.
Crucially,
yeah,
a spot in the grand final and a shot at the first ever title of Arena of Valor World Champion.
And then you're looking at $200,000. Now, for Thailand here, the Preta,
okay.
I know you had
like
opinions. You had opinions during the quarterfinals last week.
Yes, I like Preta, but I feel like Preta's place in this meta has kind of just become worse Crixie. Because what Preta always offered that was so good was the ability to really nail in damage on anyone who's gotten isolated. You can always land major damage Plague Spectres, particularly towards the late game. Crixie does that role better now.
Well, you see there, Thailand, they're confident, TJ. They're already giving each other fist bumps as they lock in their final pick for Game 1 against Korea. This is probably likely going to be their toughest opponent. This one, they say don't underestimate us. They were the top seed coming in, but you got to remember, Korea at the boot camp.
Only team that's underestimating them is Korea.
I'm about to say, Korea is the team that finished second in the group stage, lost out during the semis during the boot camp. They have a pretty good track record when it comes to the game so far, only dropping the one game during groups. Now you're coming in here. Coaches are going to go ahead and shake hands. We're going to hopefully get in onto Game 1 here quite shortly.
Thailand have said every single one of those versus matchups, they've said, don't underestimate us. Most of the time, nobody's in danger of underestimating them, because like you say, they are the top seed coming in. But Korea, I think, are underestimating them, because Korea, like we were talking about, we're already thinking through to a final versus China, which is now no longer possible.
No, now they, maybe that preparation. And from what I remember here, TJ, during scrims over the last week, you know, Korea and Thailand, they have kind of kept themselves pretty spread apart. These guys actually haven't scrimmed each other too often. Oftentimes, you know, Korea is going against Chinese Taipei, even China at times. These guys don't like to show their strategies against one another to see how well it's going to pan out. Either way, though, we're going to go ahead, load on in for Game 1 between Korea and Thailand, fighting for their slot into the grand final. Let's go ahead and get into the game.
I cannot believe that we've gotten here. Thailand facing off and already charging down this mid lane.
I like this, though. This is something we've seen before, usually coming in from the boot camp. But now I find that Korea likes to take a little more standard approach. They like to try and spread out. But now, instead, opting to go for the invade onto the top side of the map.
Look, though, there is an answer. Thailand are already shifting over to pressure that bot lane.
And you see Remix trying to come on over. He's actually forced to flicker away. So trying to go for the response there onto the buff. Gets shut down, so he's got to be a little bit careful here for the next minute. Won't have that cooldown available, but a successful invade from Rush.
I like the fact that Thailand, in addition to just counter-invading as is standard, they're also taking a moment to make sure that that Scud Chaser is thoroughly blocked out behind tower during this time.
You can see J-Jack there on the RM. 100% pick and ban, only a 50% win rate, but now coming in toward the mid lane, wants to try and cut off Thailand. They were looking to position themselves onto Hawk, but fortunately for them, this is the thing when it comes to the Preta that I find is it's very telegraphed, the damage coming on through. You have time to react to this massive AoE if you want to try and get out of the way.
The thing, like I said, it's just kind of in a situation where it's worse Crixie, because Crixie can do it faster and more damage. This is their opportunity to demonstrate that.
Jerry comes in onto the front line. J-Jack's going to go ahead for the flash. You have Hawk over toward the side, getting damage onto Thailand. No one will fall, but I like Thailand. They're trying to get aggressive. They're trying to answer Korea right away.
Trying to poke, trying to prod, and that's what you need to do, Thailand. If you're ever falling behind, forced back into your jungle, that's where they're going to flat out lose the game. Do not let the Koreans take the driver's seat.
Well, look at this Chaser. I wanted to say, he's actually had a star performance so far today. We saw Chaser in the last series was an absolute monster. Looking toward Thailand, they wanted to maybe pressure Chaser, but now look to try and get Rush into the jungle, but they are spread apart. They don't want to fully commit to a fight, TJ.
Korea, of course, leveraging this Arum. We talked it up a little bit in the draft. A very, very powerful character. We saw the stat on their pick ban. There's a reason for that. Arum is insane.
Oh, see, Sun going for the steal here is not actually going to be able to secure it as Remix came on over and took it away.
Did you see that spear throw, Opal? That was so close to finding the kill, and it was like preternatural, I don't know, awareness that allowed him to escape.
But meanwhile, Abyssal Dragon has started up. Rush is going to secure it. There's going to be Cherry jumping on in onto 3 members, but look at that health bar. Gets the heal. Chaser goes down low, and First Blood goes to Thailand. Make it 2 kills. And Korea, they're looking to maybe have to be careful. Memarks just runs him over. 3 kills to Thailand for the price of the Abyssal.
And a double kill already to the freighter. I want to see more of that. That was exactly what I was wondering. Can the freighter have the mobility, the aggression that Thailand needs to offer? And well, he's like a freight train, and I think that's your answer.
And that's going to be a 1,500 gold lead to start things off here for Thailand. And I like this. They challenged Korea at the Abyssal Dragon. We were wondering, would Thailand falter if the jungle pressure was there from Korea? So far, they've been able to answer it.
And that's been really nice to see. Thailand staying in the game, staying aggressive, and keeping doing this.
We see J-Jack is able to help secure the kill for Hawk as they pick it up. The shot comes on down, and Hawk is going to be clipped out of the air. That's going to be a trade, a 1-for-1. You see Thailand, they're able to collapse when Korea goes into the jungle.
Hello, Thailand. Welcome to the game. Welcome to the AWC. We were wondering, are Korea going to get out ahead, power through as a very aggressive team? And Thailand already have an answer. They're playing much more aggressive, yes, but they're also playing aggressive as a group. Because the intention is when Korea are sending those solo 2-man invades, they have 3-4 players ready to go to punish them.
And this is a little bit interesting. This kind of been a switch from Korea's play style.
Yeah.
Because usually they like to go for towers. But we haven't really seen that much split lane pressure coming down toward the side of the map. And Thailand is able to just get into the jungle and be uncontested. You see the Preta damage if they're able to find it. Chaser gets taken down pretty fast. Hawk is able to survive. J-Jack over toward the side. You see Sun in the middle of everybody. Gets the stun. And Korea answer back with 2 kills of their own.
Beautifully played from Sun. A double kill to him, but across the map, Remix is chipping away.
Yeah, you see that Lubu's able to just shred down the tower, and that's going to be Thailand's 2nd tower of the game. They still sit 2,200 gold ahead of Korea at 5 minutes.
And I'm just in awe of the fact that they've already got this Praetor doing so much damage. You can see he's building Phoenix Tier on Flashy Boots. Phoenix Tier will probably build into Orb of the Magi. I'd be astonished if it was anything else. I've seen some people sell it weirdly. But they're trying to do a very, very standard Praetor build, but they're just already chunking with it. And I love that because it means it's all on the positioning.
And on top of that, now Thailand were able to secure the bot lane pressure by getting that tower. They were able to walk in, get the Abyssal Dragon. Korea were nowhere near it.
Yeah. And Korea are typically very aggressive team around the towers. That's going to be what they're looking for more so than the major objectives. They're behind in towers.
That's unheard of. We've never seen Korea have a start like this.
This is an unusually rough start for Korea, and it might be about to get worse as there's more pressure in the jungle. Thailand's the team that's playing aggressive and taking the battle towards the buffs.
Question, though, becomes, can Korea stall this out and let Rush take the late game fights? You still see the pressure coming up from the top side of Thailand. Sun is just looking to clear out the wave. He's got to be careful, though. Can't go too aggressive. You saw already taking a decent chunk of damage if he goes aggressive.
Sun on the Irie, though, is so good at diving in and securing those major objectives, picking up buffs, picking up minion waves. That's what the character's exceptionally good at. In addition to diving into those fights, is little bits of poke. And that's how Korea stay in the game with poke like that.
Gets caught out once again, and Moss will pick up the kill. Remix now has come from the top side of the map. Chaser, though, with the disengage, but Rush gets caught out by the flying spear. He'll get taken on down. Another 2 kills for Thailand.
And here's the push. This might be the tower.
Sun has to be careful, wants to jump on in, has the shield, has the ultimate, but you still see the damage. The tower slowly falling. Thailand are able to find, again, another 2 picks. For me, TJ, this is starting to become a trend, is J-Jack invading onto the Sage Golem, keeps getting caught out.
Yeah, and that time, it wasn't even the initial invade got punished. It was that Thailand were there to force a team fight that was objectively bad for Korea. And I love that awareness because it speaks of research and awareness of what Korea is going to do in these games.
Unfortunately for the Aram, we just haven't really seen it be utilized just yet. Just trying to apply pressure toward the jungle, but then he gets collapsed on, and that's great map awareness coming out from Thailand. And once again, now they control the bot side of the map. Go for the Abyssal Dragon. Korea wants to try and answer back, but see the amount of pushback from Thailand. Moss's ultimate chaser gets caught out. Abyssal's halfway into the river. Sure, Sun, you can now join in onto the fight. If they keep chasing, this could be brutal, because Sun around the corner comes on in with the ultimate, lands the stun, has the shields, and now Korea can turn this around at the Might Golem. Cherry, though, is still pretty tanky. He'll be able to escape.
Cherry oftentimes plays the tankier of characters. Knowing that he can escape from these fights is how Thailand stay alive. Korea, though, that has been consistent damage from the Fennec. I am loving that spear throw. Slims, by the way.
Slims, I was about to say. I'm going to correct you. Sun, though, he's going to need a correction because he gets caught out.
Beautifully done. Again, a dive deep in from Thailand, knowing where there's going to be over-aggression. It wasn't even so much over-aggression, just they know where Sun is going to be pressing forward.
Shock comes on down. This is Thailand saying, this tower is ours, Korea. Unfortunately, though, the minion did fall, so they can't secure it on this push. But you see, Korea, they are trying their hardest not to give up this mid lane tower, because if they lose this, they lose all the map control around the objectives.
And let's talk a bit about minion clear, because I've been really liking B-Marks. I was questioning the Praetor quite a bit, but we've seen those Plague Spectres consistently used for very long-range wave clear. And he's getting a lot of it. They haven't had to fight many of these minion waves against tower because of that consistent play from B-Marks.
So second Abyssal going to go in favor of Thailand. So they're now up almost 5,000 gold at the 9-minute mark, TJ. This is not a spot I'd ever think of seeing Korea in, but now they have to go against Thailand. There is a reason this team comes in at the #1 seed into the World Cup, and they're starting to show it here during the knockout stage.
I really do like to see this new side from Thailand. They're going for this tower.
The tower is going to fall. The minions are able to survive. You still see Rush. He was trying to clear that out. Spirit Throw not going to be connected. Moss gets taken down pretty low. Cherry just using the ultimate for the zone, but still, they're not able to pick up the kill.
And the Spirit Throw landed, just for fun. I'm loving this Thailand team. It's so coordinated, and they're going to take it.
Wow.
The pressure they've secured to go for this Dark Slayer. Look at how careful Thailand are playing.
Because they notice where Rush is on the map. He's in the bot lane. He has shown himself, and that's going to be an easy Dark Slayer for Thailand.
As a result, Korea now need to play on the back foot for a while yet. Of course, Sun doesn't know the meaning of that, so he's going to press forward, try and secure some jungle control.
Well, there's a reason he's got himself so much gold per minute here during playoffs, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do much if he keeps getting caught out. Remix now applying pressure toward the top side of the map for Korea. They're just trying to stall out this Dark Slayer. You do not want to lose a high ground tower in this scenario. Just try secure your base, build up your wall, and play safe. Sun is still at that Sage Golem.
I thought he recalled, but he just waited out and got the Sage Golem once Cherry left. Well, little bits of gold do matter at this point, because you're looking no longer at winning the game now, but later.
Yeah, Sun cosplaying himself as the sneaky ninja girl. As I see Matt just walking in front of us. He reminded me. I'm sorry, TJ.
Remix will have the bot lane pressure. This could be the first high ground under threat.
Yeah, Remix still applying pressure. Chaser. I wanted to highlight Chaser, but unfortunately so far sitting 0-3 on the Scud. Was able to put on quite the performance in the first series that Korea has played. You have Hawk bringing down the Moonfall, but that's just used to zone away the team of Thailand. The tower still stands, but you still see the trap is being readied by Thailand.
I have yet to see anything from this Aram on Korea. J-Jack needs to get more. He needs to do more with these snares, with these uncaged.
Because the issue is now is Thailand have pushed so far up, they don't even need to go through the jungle. They don't need to go through these choke points that the Aram and the Crixie are going to excel at. Meanwhile, 007 is taking the third Abyssal Dragon for Thailand. It feels like Korea just don't know how to answer.
No, they're trying here with Hawk, but there's the shock. Again, great zone from Cherry.
Yeah, J-Jack gets chunked out there, has to be a little bit careful. Sun's over toward the side, but he can't be isolated like that. But look at this, Thailand has actually kind of split up. That might be an opportunity for Korea to pull the trigger if they do it again. But unfortunately, that tower is just going to get taken down. The gold lead has now surged to 8,000.
you're looking at the 15-minute mark. You want to just hold on, clear the wave. Maybe at the 15-minute mark, you can start to work your way back in.
Thailand, though, the time is ticking, and they know it. The shot comes on down. The tower's going to fall, and Korea still have to back off, but still, all the high ground towers remain.
All of the high grounds remain for Korea, and that small victory has to be the victory they hold on to. You are not out of the game until you start losing high grounds. That's the fundamental law of Arena of Valor.
Pretty much. Once you lose those, you have pressure you have to deal with just naturally from the push of the super minions. For me, though, we haven't really seen a true team fight, you know, a mid to late game team fight with Korea. And the thing is, Rush has been able to slowly start scaling up on this. Violet has died twice.
Steadily. The Rush waits in the shadows. And if he's able to get out ahead and then hover at the back of these team fights, like you say, you start to worry because Thailand don't have a lot of late game damage aside from that Praetor.
See Cherry, though, still pushing in the spot side wave. It looks like the call is going to be a 1-3-1 with the Lubu starting to roam between the lanes. Looks like Cherry wants to go to the mid lane in case a fight were to break out. He could go for the engage. But now you have to deal with all the pressure, TJ.
Watch the Praetor in this upcoming fight. It needs to be dealt with quickly.
You see minions being cleared out on all three fronts from Korea. They're able to hold on to the base. Remix starting to push out a little more. Sun, if he gets a little too aggressive, that could be the point of weakness for Korea during this hold.
It also could be the only way they survive if he can get to this wave in time.
You still see 4 members of Korea rotating, just answering Thailand, trying to stay together, and they're able to prevent the minions from crashing in.
They got big chunk damage onto me marks, though, which says to me they know where their attention needs to be focused, and hopefully they can follow through.
You see, though, Rush getting taken down extremely low. Moonfall comes on down, but Chaser gets taken down. Shot comes down on the side of Thailand. They're not able to take any of the tower because there's no minions, but still, the pick is there. And this is a weird one. Rush was out of position during the start of that fight, TJ.
Rush so brilliant in position normally, and now all of a sudden struggling here on this stage.
You still see them clearing out the minions, preventing Thailand from advancing forward. This is Korea in turtle mode. This is the first time we've seen Korea at this point in the game. The engage comes on down. Moonfall from the side. Hawk is able to pick up the kill. Sun dragging back Thailand on the side here, but look at that tower, TJ. It's getting taken down extremely low. 007 cannot finish it off.
It will not go down, and this is where having that Slims as opposed to a character like the Violet or Lindis does begin to backfire, but it's not backfiring enough. Rush needs to go huge.
Is able to try and clear out some of these minions. You see, you had Sun, he was looking for a roam, but couldn't find it.
I love the fact that Sun is continuing to do this, because with the Darkslayer coming up, this is where Korea needs to win a fight.
Okay, here's the issue though. If Sun gets caught out in the jungle, this is a free Darkslayer for Thailand. But you see Sun, he's snuck up onto 007. The damage though isn't there for Sun. He gets taken down. That should be a Darkslayer play by Thailand, but meanwhile they're going to go instead toward the Abyssal Dragon.
It doesn't matter, they have enough time, they can get both, because Sun is not back for 33 seconds. That's 10 after the Darkslayer, and well, that's dismal for Korea.
Thailand positioning themselves toward victory, now ahead by 10,000 gold. They can wait this out. Just wait for the Darkslayer.
They are guaranteed the victory.
He gets taken on down. Rush is going to get taken down too. Thailand's able to find 2 in the base, TJ. And now minions in top lane. They can look for the end.
Beautifully done again by 007. He is looking so good here on stage.
You see Chaser, he's going to try and hold on to this core, but Korea are looking to give up their first game of the knockouts. You have Sun trying to make the hero play, trying to get onto the backside, but it doesn't matter. J-Jack underneath his turrets are getting obliterated left and right. Core will fall. And that's going to be Thailand with game 1.
Now that's an upset.
And you see Thailand, they are living. They are excited for that victory in Korea. You can see it there. That is a silent Korea.
That is the most out of it I've ever seen Korea look, both in-game and in person on stage.
You gotta be feeling good here on the side of Thailand. After, you know, a lot of people were saying, they said themselves, don't underestimate us, TJ. But they showed themselves to be quite the form when they came
I underestimated them.
Yeah, I'll be frank. A lot of people were saying Korea would be the favorites here, but take a look at that score, 6-17. It's a different story.
Yeah, and I'd like to highlight particularly Rush 0-3-3.
Wow.
That is a dismal performance. I'm in awe of how well they managed to shut down Rush, and so much of that was the early jungle pressure. You could see 007 was getting absurdly built in a marksman v marksman matchup. 007 versus Rush, you absolutely favor Rush just off previous results.
You see the early fights here started off great here for Thailand. They were able to keep up the pressure in Korea. Kind of reminded me how Vietnam plays. I didn't really see them try and push out of their base once they started getting pressure applied to them, once those towers started to go down.
Yeah, when Vietnam played poorly during the group stage, it was like that. They started playing so carefully and so passively. And there was a moment there where an Irie left the base.
Yeah, left
where
the base.
Sun thought he had an opportunity to pick off the marksman, and I will say it was perfect. He had the right spacing, the right timing. If he had won that fight, it would have been great. Unfortunately, 007 was so built that he just demolished the fight.
And this is a Thailand style of game. Look at that game time, 16.5 minutes. On average for game time for Korea, it's 12.5. That is their group.